And if you love what you do, you'll want to be the first one in the office in the morning and the last one out at night, even if you're working for yourself. A friend of mine the other day told me a story about his son, a college graduate who'd moved back home after graduation and is starting a tech company in their house. Every morning he wakes up, showers, and puts on a suit and tie because he says he wants to start his day with the mindset of, I'm going to succeed. And the fact of the matter is, that's just harder to do when you're in your pajamas trying to pat down your bedhead. True, many of you are going to work at companies where, if you wear a suit, you'll feel like your grandparents at Daft Punk concerts. But just wait until your second or third job. Hello, Brooks Brothers. Regardless of whether you wear a suit, or a shirt, or a hoodie, roll up your sleeves every day and get down to work. Work hard, take risks, follow your passion, embrace innovation. The secret of success isn't much of a secret. It's just that many people look for an easier way, a shortcut to be found, because they mistakenly think of the American dream as a destination to be reached. Let me tell you, the American dream has no shortcuts and no endpoint. It is the freedom you have to chart your own journey and through hard work to find professional success and personal fulfillment. It is up to you to embrace that opportunity for yourself and to extend that opportunity to others who right now are being denied it. Now, some of you may know about this firsthand. About 30% of you graduates here are on student visas. If those in Washington had any sense at all, they would be begging you to stay here in the United States. But instead, our country's laws, they force some of you to leave in the months and years ahead. Just think about what that means. We invite foreign students to study here. We subsidize the universities they attend with research funding and other aid. And then after those students have mastered the material, we tell them to go elsewhere and work for one of our competitors. It is the most backward economic policy you could possibly come up with, and I've called it national suicide, because we are destroying our future by turning our backs on history. Every student graduating here today should have a green card stapled to his or her diploma so that they can help our economy grow. Every child brought to this country illegally should have the opportunity to apply for financial aid and go to college because they have done nothing wrong. Every entrepreneur who wants to come here and start a business and create jobs in this country should have the chance to do so. They are the future leaders of major corporations that will employ millions of Americans. And every business with job openings that can't be filled should be able to hire an immigrant who wants to work hard. American immigrants built the world's most innovative economy, and it is up to them to keep it growing. And if we're going to keep the American dream alive, we need those in Washington to fix this broken system and fix it right now. Now, a few years ago, I helped form a coalition of mayors and business leaders called the Partnership for a New American Economy to press for immigration reform. I'm glad to report that we finally do seem to be getting real traction in Washington, and our coalition continues to grow. Many university presidents, including President Hennessy, have spoken out on this issue, and the tech community here and in New York City have been very vocal. And that includes Stanford alum Reid Hoffman, and also Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out of a university often called the Stanford of the East. They and other tech leaders are pushing forward for immigration reform through a group they've formed called Forward. And we now have a real chance at passing comprehensive, sensible immigration reform this year, and I hope you will make your voices heard as well. Pick up the phone and call your congressman and call your senator and say, we want it now, or I'm not going to vote for you. If we are going to win the future, we've got to keep the future here by allowing more immigrants to come here and pursue the American dream. At the same time, it's not just our immigration laws that are denying too many people a chance at the American dream. This month, the Supreme Court will rule on 2 cases involving same-sex marriage. The Federal Defense of Marriage Act, which denies recognition of same-sex marriages, and California's Proposition 8, which prohibits same-sex marriage. In the whole history of the United States, no law limiting the rights of a particular class of people has ever stood the test of time, and neither will these. And I'm glad to see that 2 Stanford professors have testified and filed briefs opposing Proposition 8. 2 professors at the law school, Pamela Carlin and Jeffrey Fisher, are the lead attorneys in the Defense of Marriage Act case. And I'm happy to say they are representing a woman named Edith Windsor, who is a New York City resident. And that's only fitting because our city was the birthplace of the gay rights movement, and I'm proud to say that New York State has passed marriage equality back in 2011. Now, no matter how the Supreme Court rules in these 2 cases, there is no doubt in my mind that both laws will soon be history. It is not a question of if, only a question of when. The advance of American freedom and equality can be slowed, but it can never be stopped. Every generation of Americans has expanded the rights of full citizenship to an ever-widening circle of people, and I have every confidence that your generation will do the same. Marriage equality is the civil rights issue of our time, and I believe that it will become the law of the land in all 50 states. If not in my lifetime, then certainly in yours. Stanford has a strong connection to the civil rights movement, including the Martin Luther King Research and Education Institute. And this year marks the 50th anniversary of 2 of Dr. King's most important works. In June 1963, his Letter from a Birmingham Jail was first published in various outlets, after the New York Times declined to run it. Remember that the next time you don't get your letter to the editor published. Later that summer, on the Washington Mall, Dr. King delivered what may be the most inspiring speech the world has ever heard. In both, he reminded us that the American dream is not only an individual ambition that lies within all of us, it is a national aspiration that calls us to honor our nation's highest ideals. Those 2 elements of the American dream have been present since our conception. We are a country founded on truths that were self-evident, but not self-fulfilling. That all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among those life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All of American history can be understood as the struggle to live up to those ideals. Today, that struggle continues, and it's now your turn to lead it. When Dr. King visited Stanford in 1964, he told students here, quote, "Human progress never merely rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. There's always a right time to do it, and that time is now," unquote. That time is now, graduates. So tonight, one last beer at Illusions, and tomorrow, with the wind of freedom at your back, go out and pursue your American dream and help make it a reality for others. Congratulations and best of luck.